Let me ask you a question, Zev. If somebody were to ask you, what does the Likud stand for? I think you would be rather hard pressed to actually determine what they stand for apart from just Bibi Netanyahu. I have some very good friends in the Likud. Unfortunately, they're backbenchers, and they themselves have pretty much had it. It's corrupt. It's not focused. Um, it's run by one man and one man alone, and everybody in the party is scared to death of him. And I don't really see any future for it. I think that Likud, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I think that the Likud, unless it has a new leadership that can articulate a viable policy for Israel's future, I think that that party is going to take a bath in the next election.
But let me ask you a question. Don't you think that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he served the longest running and serving Prime Minister in Israeli history, but after the war is over and there's going to be accountability, is you're going to have to see a whole new change. People who were at the top are going to have to resign or not run again.
I doubt that. I had hoped that after the war started, there would be a sea change, both politically and within the political establishment and within the military establishment. But there hasn't been. The old guard is dug in, and they're not going anywhere. Now, this old guard consists of people that a lot of the public just doesn't know about. You want to call it the deep state, you call it the deep state. But Bibi has now become a clear and present danger to the security and safety of our country. He has yet to take responsibility, any responsibility for what happened on October 7th. His policies since then have, to the outside world, looked like they've been pretty good, but they haven't been. They've been disastrous. And his latest acceptance of this Trump peace plan is just one more example of how unfit he is for office right now. The major problem that we're facing right now with regard to Gaza is that right after October 7th, Bibi categorically refused to indicate what the day after should look like. And that created a vacuum into which all these regional countries, including the United States, both under Joe Biden and Donald Trump, moved in to impose their own concepts of what the day after should be. And it's been an utter, unmitigated disaster ever since. And Bibi, unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize this, but he's somebody who has never been able to, as we say, pull the trigger. He prevaricates, he waits, he puts off, and he lets basically other countries, other people, other agendas determine what his policy will be. Right now, he reminds me of, the dog that catches the car. That's what he's afraid of. He's afraid of being a dog that catches the car. That is the day after, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And I talk to a lot of people who are internally displaced, both from the Gaza envelope communities and from the northern communities along the Lebanese border. And I can't really repeat on this show, and the legacy parties as well. But when I ask them, for example, the people from the South that are still in hotels, when you think of Gaza, what do you think of? And their answer is always the same. And I haven't had any, difference of opinion on this matter. It's a Gaza free of Arabs, annexed by Israel, and repopulated by Jews. When I talk to these people, These are all kind of left-wing people. And I've been happily shocked at the fact that at least these people have awakened from this naive notion that there could be peace, specifically with these Islamo-fascists in Gaza. Bibi doesn't see it that way. He basically, I mean, a friend of mine, Aaron Lerner, describes him as a doormat, and that's true. And it's really tragic for us right now. So at least as far as the Likud is concerned, he's really led the party down a very dark and dangerous alley right now. And there are people in the party who, if they could take it over, would save it. But right now, I don't see it. I don't see it really regaining or gaining any additional votes and losing an awful
Let
lot
me
of
ask this
mandates.
question though: if the hostages come home and the bodies return home, wouldn't that help him politically in Israel?
No, no, not at all. Because people understand, not the left. See, the public has been sandbagged by the left. They took over the hostage issue and repackaged it as they weaponized it as a tool against Bibi and the conservative government, this conservative coalition. If you look, when you live here and you actually listen to the family forums, that are run by the left, they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. And so people here fully understand, and you got to be careful with polls because a lot of the left-wing polls are lies. I've found that out myself. I'm running polls right now, and boy, you have to be very careful when you read a poll that says 60% of the Israeli people want the hostages home. You have to get into the details of that poll to find out that that's not quite accurate. So right now, most people understand that our priorities should be the total destruction of Hamas. This is number one. But the left, it was really rapid, over the course of a couple of weeks, reprioritized the war to favor the return of the hostages at any cost. And people understand here that what that's done is it's validated the taking of hostages. So the hostage crisis, the hostage issue, is a difficult one for a lot of people here, for obvious reasons. But what you have to understand is it has been completely weaponized by the left. I've talked to the hostage forum, several of the leftist leaders of the hostage families. There's a conservative wing also that I've been involved with that stresses strength and resilience and the need to destroy Hamas in order to regain
Look,
the
Hamas
freedom.
can really be destroyed? Can you kill every
Yes,
single last member of Hamas? Is that possible?
when you're talking about killing every member of Hamas, it's kind of an impossible goal to reach. What you have to do is destroy whatever you can and then expel everyone from Gaza. That's the only way. It's like a cancer doctor looking at the disease in a patient. His objective, of course, is to cure the patient and to destroy the cancer wherever it may be in the patient's body. But if necessary, he'll have to accept a partial victory. Well, in our case, we can't accept a partial victory. We have to go for a complete cure. And that means removing the entirety of the threat. The threat is not just Hamas. Hamas is a manifestation of the hatred and the anti-Semitic feelings of the Gazan population. They voted Hamas in. We have to remember that. It was a democratic election. They voted Hamas in, knowing what their agenda was, and they were sympathetic to it.
But at one point, President Trump was talking about relocating everybody from Gaza and rebuilding it, but that seems to no longer be on the table. Now they're talking about rebuilding Gaza with the Palestinian Authority and other Arab countries, right? Isn't that what's on the plan right now?
That's correct, and that's bringing it's because of the vacuum that Bibi left by his irresolution on this day after issue. Countries like
What should he be said to be the day after?
the day after should be the destruction of Hamas, the recovery of whatever hostages we can, and the remains of those who are dead that we can. The expulsion of the entire Gaza population.
Well, Bibi said a month ago that he'd like the Trump plan to relocate them and make it an oasis in the Middle East, but that's went nowhere.
That went nowhere because it wasn't serious. That's why. A lot of the stuff that Trump has put out by people like that was generated by people like Steve Witkoff, who is basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is my opinion, the opinion of many others, just a shill for the Qataris. Jared Kushner, who has been a complete and utter disaster for Israel. He's basically a Saudi agent. I mean, people don't understand that shortly after this peace plan was accepted, so-called peace plan was accepted by Bibi, the Saudis approved a $1 billion real estate deal for the Trump business empire. And Jared Kushner was part of that. This is all transactional. You have to understand that. It's all transactional. And as far as, relocating the Gazan population is concerned, right after the war started, right after it started, we should have given Hamas 24 hours to release all the hostages and the remains of those who were killed, or else.
Or else
Or else the destruction, the total unqualified destruction of Gaza from Jabalia in the east to Rafah in the west. Just level the place and be done with it. You have to understand that I and many others were scared to death of urban warfare. We can't afford it. I call what's been going on Stalingrad on the Med, and we just can't afford that. My priorities are the safety and welfare of our soldiers, our sacred soldiers. But the army and the political establishment don't care. Whatever success about them, whatever successes that we've achieved since October 7th has been paid for with the blood and the sacrifice of our soldiers, not the leadership of our generals, who have been a complete failure from before, during, and now after October 7th. So when you look at the Trump peace plan, the one word that I think best characterizes it is delusional. Because all it's going to be doing, as a friend of mine, Avi Avalo, has just written in JNS, it's just rotating our enemies from Hamas to, if it works out, Egypt, Turkey, and Qatar. I mean, who in the world, who with a clear head would want these people in Gaza? You have to understand, the Egyptians are planning a war with us right now, and they're very
they're ready for war with Israel.
Absolutely. I read one of their general staff operational plans that was published publicly, and it calls for a rapid advance up Gaza, from Rafah to Deir al-Balah to Khan Yunis to Gaza City, and then to the gates of Ashkelon and Ashdod, and then a right hook down to Beersheba. They're open about this, and this is why, from a strictly strategic standpoint, we have to have complete control over Gaza, and it can't really be explained in any other way, except that it's a matter of existential importance for us to make sure that we have defensive positions in Rafah and these other cities, all the way up the strip to the gates of Ashkelon and Ashdod, in order to rule out the possibility of a rapid blitzkrieg type advance by the Egyptian army up the coastal plain. I mean, these are details that a lot of people are unaware of, and the government, the army, and the media here, unfortunately, have been very good at really sandbagging the Israeli population in terms of this threat from Egypt right now. So, on any number of fronts, we simply cannot allow the Trump peace plan to gain any traction.
Thank you for watching. If you like this content, you like our programs, please like and subscribe, as it helps the channel get these important conversations out there to a larger audience. So please become a supporter of Talkline with Zev Brenner by liking us, by supporting us, and telling all your friends to watch. Thank you.